Hi there, welcome to this sewing tutorial where I'm gonna be showing you how to sew the perfect t-shirt using the industry standard construction method. For this demonstration, I'll be using the Oversized t-shirt pattern from my shop. This is a menswear oversized t-shirt pattern which is designed for knit fabrics. The pattern is available in US sizes from extra small to extra large. Whether you are new to sewing with knits or looking to refine your techniques, this project is a great opportunity to build the confidence and improve your skills in a structured and supportive way. So with this being said, let's go over the materials you will need to bring this pattern to life. First, your main fabric. Choose a light to medium weight knit fabric with good stretch and recovery. For a more structured, oversized look, choose a slightly heavier jersey. And for a softer and more flowy fit, choose a lighter knit fabric. This pattern is designed for knit fabrics, so avoid using stiff or non-stretch fabrics as they will affect the final fit and drape of the garment. Optionally, you can use rib knit fabric, which is commonly used for neckbands due to its excellent stretch and recovery, which helps the neckline maintain its shape. However, the neckband can also be made using the same main fabric, as I'm gonna be doing in this demonstration. Next, your sewing thread. Use a high quality polyester thread suitable for knit fabrics. Choose a color that matches or contrasts your main fabric. Twill binding tape. This will be used for finishing the inside back neckline. It can be cotton twill tape or polyester twill tape. Alternatively, you can use an fold over elastic that is also recommended for knit fabrics. Another important material are your sewing needles. Use ballpoint needles designed specifically for knit fabrics. And finally, your machine. A serger or overlocker is recommended for assembling the t-shirt as it creates flexible seams suitable for knit fabrics. If you don't have access to a serger, I would recommend to use your regular sewing machine and choose a stretch stitch or a narrow zigzag stitch. Before cutting, pre-wash or steam your fabric to pre-shrink it and allow the fabric to rest flat for a short period of time before cutting so any tension from the folding or rolling can relax and the fabric can settle more naturally. Use pattern weight to keep the fabric stable. If pins are used, avoid stretching the fabric as you secure the pattern. To cut the pieces, follow the instructions listed on the pattern. I'm using the A0 file also included with the pattern, which is also a projector compatible. So, since the seam allowance is already included, I simply trace or mark the outer edge of each piece and cut along that line. And don't forget to transfer all markings such as notches onto the fabric before removing the pattern pieces. Before starting, test the stitch tension and stitch length on your serger on a fabric scrap. Adjust settings according to your fabric to ensure a balanced seams and that the stitch aligns correctly with the 1/4 inch of seam allowance used throughout the garment. To begin with, right sides together, align the front and back bodice pieces at the shoulder seams. Pin or clip in place, then sew both shoulder seams using 1/4 inch of seam allowance. Press the seam first flat to set the stitches and then towards the back. To secure the overlock chain, thread the tail through a tapestry or darning needle and weave it back through the serger stitches for about at least 1 inch within the seam allowance. This will help prevent the seam from unraveling and creates a more professional finish. Once secure, trim any excess. Next, open the bodice and lay it flat with the right side facing up. With right sides together, align the raw edge of the sleeve cap with the armhole. Match the center notch of the sleeve with the shoulder seam, and then align the remaining armhole notches and raw edges. Pin or clip the sleeve in place, easing the fabric evenly between the notches if needed. Then sew the sleeve to the armhole using 1/4 inch of seam allowance. Press your seams first flat and then towards the body. Repeat the same process for the second sleeve. To continue, with right sides together, fold the garment in half, aligning the front and back pieces. Match the underarm seams first and then align the sleeve edges and side seams, pinning or clipping them together as needed. Starting at the sleeve hem, sew continuously through the armhole and down to the bottom hem in one continuous seam using 1/4 inch of seam allowance. Repeat on the opposite side as well. Then press the side seams first flat to set the stitches and then towards the back. After that, finish the raw edge of each sleeve hem with the serger. Then measure and fold the hem 1 inch up towards the wrong side of the fabric and top stitch close to the edge using your preferred stretch stitch. Optionally, you can sew 2 parallel rows of straight stitches on the hem or by using a twin needle. And repeat the same procedure for the bottom hem as well. Just finish the raw edge of the bottom hem with a serger and then measure and fold the hem up 1 inch towards the wrong side of the fabric. And then top stitch as well close to the edge using your preferred stretch stitch. A twin needle or double rows of stitching can be used for a cover stitch like finish, as I mentioned before, for the sleeve hem as well. Now it's time to finish the neckline. To do so, measure the full neckline, keeping the tape relaxed and avoid stretch the neckline while measuring. And just for reference, on my sample, the neckline measurement was 23 inches. Next, we need to determine the neckband reduction. The neckband is intentionally cut smaller than the neckline measurement, so the amount of this reduction always depends on the stretch and recovery of the fabric used. To help you choose the correct percentage of the neckline that will be cut for the neckband, you can use the following chart as a reference. This is based on the fabric type and stretch. So at this point, you just need to choose the correct percentage based on your fabric type. For my sample, I'm using cotton knit, which means that I'll be cutting my neckband at 90% of the actual neckline measurement. Keep in mind that these values are general guidelines. It is always recommended to test your specific fabric before final cutting, since small adjustments might be needed to achieve the desired neckline fit. After measuring the neckline and determining the percentage reduction needed depending on your fabric, the next step is to calculate the final neckband measurement using the following formula. The neckband length is calculated by multiplying the neckline measurement by the fabric percentage selected from the previous chart and then dividing that result by 100%. For a better understanding, let's practice this calculation using my sample as an example. So my neckband length will be equal to my neckline measurement, which is 23 inches, multiplied by 90%, that is the percentage of the cotton knit that I was used, and this amount was divided by 100%, which gives me as a result a neckband length of 20.7 inches approximately. With that measurement, we are ready to prepare and cut the neckband. To do so, cut a rectangle of fabric to the calculated length and 1.5 or 2 inches in height, ensuring that the greatest stretch runs along the length of the rectangle. This will be the direction of the neckband stretch. Next, with right size facing, sew the short ends together using 1/4 inch of seam allowance to form a loop. Secure the overlock chain. Then clip into the seam allowance at the center, being careful not to cut through the stitching, and then press the seams to opposite sides to reduce bulk at the seam when folding the neckband. To continue, fold the neckband in half lengthwise with wrong sides together, aligning raw edges evenly, and press to create a clean crease. For more control, you may baste along the raw edges to hold the folded neckband in place. After that, mark the center front and center back of the t-shirt neckline by folding it in half, aligning the shoulders. Also mark the center front of the neckband. noting that the center back for the neckband is where the seam is located. Next, with right sides together, align the neckband raw edge with the neckline raw edge, matching the center front, center back, and remaining balance points of both pieces. Sew them together using quarter of an inch of seam allowance, gently stretching the neckband to fit between the marked points while ensuring the neckline itself is not stretched. If you feel more comfortable using your regular sewing machine for this step, you can first sew the seam with a stretch stitch and then finish the raw edge on the serger. But also, if you prefer, you can sew and finish directly onto your serger. Just make sure you stretch your neckband as you go. Using a tailor's hammer or another round surface, press the neckline with the seam allowance directed towards the body of the t-shirt. After that, we're going to stabilize and finish the neckline. To create a clean finish, fold both ends of the twill tape inwards before positioning it in place. First, we're going to apply a twill tape along the back neckline on the wrong side of the garment, covering the neckline seam and extending from shoulder seam to shoulder seam. Secure the twill tape by edge stitching along both long edges, making sure it lies flat against the neckline and catching the folded ends in the stitching. Next, from the right side of the garment, at the front only, top stitch close to the seam line around the neckline from shoulder to shoulder to secure the seam allowance underneath and keep the neckband flat and stable. Give to your garment a good final press, and that's it. Your overtime t-shirt is now complete. I hope this tutorial helped you understand the construction process based on industry standards. If you create your own version, please tag me on social media because I would love to see what you made. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. And thank you so much for sewing along. I will see you in the next one.